Space Coconut.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah,
All right. So
I had to
before,
move away to somewhere more quiet.
I understand. All right, buddy. So go ahead and introduce yourself and share with us the topic that you wanted to talk about.
Okay, so I'm a pretty not infrequent. I come and go into DBD. I've been playing technically since 2018 when I got it free with PS Plus, but I went on a 6-month break sometime back for internet issues.
Hmm.
But basically, what I wanted to maybe talk about was, how it's pretty much a common consensus around the majority of the player base at this point that, they keep pumping out these DLCs every few months or so, right? So
Yep.
when they do that, and you've said it before in your videos too, where if they keep doing that, then all the resources go towards the DLC and they can't fix those issues. So we've kind of come to I want to say agreement from most people I've seen on YouTube, but not people I talk to, which I'll get to in a second, is that they should take a downtime period to work on the game, And I've kind of seen that with Overwatch 2, because I play that almost as much or more than I play DBD. Is that allegedly because Overwatch 2 is coming out, they haven't been releasing new characters. So almost all the patches that Overwatch has been having is game balance. And that's why I feel like Overwatch is getting not necessarily more popular, but a lot of its player base is having more fun, So that's why I think that DBD should do what people are saying and take a downtime to work on, just fixing all the bugs and game balance and things like that. But another opinion that I've heard from my friends is that if you go over a certain threshold to do this, then they might risk basically killing off their game because they're not making new content. So I kind of wanted your opinion on that approach.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of in the mindset that I don't think that, honestly, from the posts that I've seen, there's about 152 bugs allegedly. It was a forum post that kind of had compiled everything, and also a couple docs that have been shared around as well. But I don't personally think either the bugs are more than they can handle, or I don't know if I trust their competency at this point, but I won't be too slanderous. I'll try not to be. But you know what I mean? I don't think that even 3 months would be enough, possibly, for them to fix everything that's wrong in this game. So if they need more than 3 or even 4 months, what would you suggest they do to keep, breath of lifing their game while they're trying to fix things?
I think that, so overall, everybody kind of agrees that they do need a health patch. We were talking about that in the previous discussion a little bit. What they need to do is, here's the thing. How many people are refusing to buy cosmetics, are refusing to buy the DLC because of the state the game is in right now, right? Probably a lot. If the devs announced that they're going to not do the next DLC or the DLC after that, say a period of 6 months, right? They're saying, okay, Look, guys, we hear you. We're sorry. We're going to fix this nonsense, right? We're actually going to listen to the suggestions. We're going to do this, 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 and this. And everybody hears those, and we're like, okay, those are really good changes, right? How much goodwill will that give the player base, right? How many people will say, okay, you've heard us. Because you're actually trying, I'm going to buy this cosmetic. I'm going to buy this. Or they can even release a cosmetic set based on the fact that they're going to be fixing the game. This is like the old whatever cosmetics, these fancy things. And if you buy these cosmetics, these are meant to support the development of the health patch, right? So then players know where their money is going, and they can say, we're going to support you in this. I think the goodwill of them saying they're going to fix the game would go a long way. And if they were really transparent with it, none of this fancy double speak that they do in their Q&A. Like literally they'll be like, okay, look, here is your question. We can't do that, and this is why, but here's this question. We can do that, but we're doing this, and this before that, so that, won't happen for a while. If they gave us clear and, understandable answers to some of these questions, they would do that. Smapduda does bring up a good point that gameplay programmers are different from cosmetic programmers. They are different teams. You're absolutely right. But the way I look at it is that they're all a team anyway. They succeed and fail as a team. I mean, because if the designer, the art team makes an amazing killer, how good is the killer if they don't work? They're a team. And so that's my stance on that. But here's a question, right? Everybody kind of wants a health pack, or a health patch. Where would you start? What would you want to see worked on first?
Me personally, or is this the
you
third
personally.
party we?
Nope, you personally.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing would honestly be I say this, but there's like an asterisk attached to it. Dedicated servers.
Okay.
And I know that's kind of a meme at this point, but I purely say that because that is honestly what makes my boyfriend rage so much whenever we play.
Okay.
And also yesterday I went against a Legion of all things that had like, I swear he probably had like over 1,000 ping.
I was watching,
and he hit me. So like, how on Ormond there's like the tractor and the the main shack, the main hub, whatever it's called, you know what I mean?
The building? Yeah, the main building.
Yeah. So I was like almost touching the tractor coming from the from the main building, and I got down. So that's why I'm just like, probably the dedicated servers, but also like on top of that, just making sure that not every killer, but like the basics of a killer just work like on a fundamental level. I don't want to be stuck in the ground as Victor.
There was a video, I forget who it was either Arditha or it was one of the bigger creators, and they were talking about or they were highlighting their I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was a Morph stream. I cannot remember, but he was getting hit like a full killer length away from where he was. So like the killer swung and he was on the opposite side of the pallet. He throws the pallet and then gets downed when he like takes a couple steps away from the pallet. It was really ridiculous as to what happened there. And people are talking about they should implement ping limits and all of that, and I think that would only help so much.
Also, I have another idea that I just thought of. I guess it would be more of a balancey thing, I guess. But so the way Overwatch works, and allegedly it's going to add another thing, but the way they work is if someone DCs on your team, you get kind of this status that prioritizes your queue over others, and I think that would probably go a long way for DBD.
There was something I've always wanted them to do, which was the Friday the 13th salt mines. I don't know if this is in the same vein of what you're talking about. I think you were talking about ping, and I got distracted, and I'm talking about DCs. Am I right?
Yeah.
Were you talking about something completely different?
Yeah, sorry. It popped in my head. I'm a okay. person.
All right, no worries. So we're talking about DCs now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
No, you're
I'm the
okay.
Person that's like 1,000 things at once.
All right. So the Friday the 13th thing was people who DC accumulate this point, and as they accumulate this salt points, right, they're starting to be matched up with other players with lots of salt who are consecutive DCers. And then what ends up happening is the people who do not DC play with the other people who do not DC, and then the people who DC habitually play with other players who DC habitually. And so everybody kind of plays with the type of sportsman-like people they play with. And I really like that idea, but I think that would only work if we had a decent matchmaking system in place already.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I've also been seeing other people like they should kind of scrap the ranking system and have a competitive mode, which
Actually,
another game I used to play, Identity 5, has kind of done, but they didn't
um,
do it as good as it could be because it's actually only active for like 4 hours a day. Like literally you can only queue up 4 hours a day and then it shuts off.
wow. Calum gave me a note here. He says, we've recently learned that Friday the 13th lied about the salt mines and that they were never implemented. So Calum, I want a link to that. I want to see that. I want to see the realization of my disappointment. I want to see the manifestation of my disappointment right now. Man, that's sad. And that's another thing. So like, you can earn goodwill by lying too. So I mean, if the devs say they're working on a health patch, they could
Isn't
totally
that
not
what
do
they
it.
do anyway though? Say they work on stuff. It's like my friend sent me he sent me like this abbreviated version, kind of like what you did of
Mm.
the Q&A video that just recently did. And I just sent him a GIF back with just, that meme where it's just like soon. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like that's like the only word they know.
Yeah, yeah. We can get in a whole conversation about what they don't say in those Q&A streams. It's pretty interesting though. But, I think everybody can agree that, a health patch would be good, and some, taking a look at some of the more important aspects of the game to make the game feel good for people would be a really, really good thing. And I think
So
I want to
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I want to say that they really are working on those things, but only time will tell if they are actually working on it.
So I guess I mean, I know it's your job to wrap things up, but kind of one thing I wanted to pinprick before I end up swapping out for someone else is, what do you think? Like, I know that we've said about goodwill, and from what you've told me, it would feel like the people that have left the game because they're getting kind of burnt out over not feeling prioritized, could possibly balance out how other people say that they wouldn't get a steady inflow of players because they're not cranking out content. So in your opinion, what would be like a good time, like not timetable, but like a time frame, I guess? Like, I personally don't think that they can fix all the crap that's wrong in this game in 3 months. I might be underestimating them, but I just don't think they're capable. So what do you think would be a good compromise of time where it's like, okay, we're going to work on this and we're going to have this much time to do this, but also we want to do it in this amount of time so that we don't start bleeding players?
I think because I don't have any experience in design, in coding and programming and making art and things like that, I can't say about how much time, because if I say this should be fixed in this period of time, it could be completely unreasonable, or it could be like, well, we can get that done in a day. What are you talking about? I'm not going to say like a time limit, right? But the thing, I think the most important thing, everything, there are layers, right? The very foundation of the game needs to be established and fixed. And that includes establishing a clear win condition and then from that win condition, balancing the foundation of the game around that win condition. And then after you establish the game and the win condition, then you can work on the perks, the killer powers, and the survivor powers, perks, all of those things on top of that foundation, all centered around that win condition. So I think, and then the matchmaking system, right? So I think at the very base, at the very core thing of the game, is that they need to establish a win condition for the game. Because, ranking up doesn't win. Getting all 4 survivors, getting a 4K or a 4 escape doesn't necessarily win. I think it does for survivors, I think. But getting a 4K as a killer doesn't necessarily win because you could still not pip. And then there are the people who don't do either. And then they're like, oh, I had fun, and so that means I won. If in order to balance
the
this
way
game,
they've made this game, you kind of have to impose your own criteria, kind of like I do, because it's like, okay, if I get more points than half the players on the team, then I kind of consider a little bit of win. But I'm just a bad killer main, so there's that.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly why they need to establish a win condition, because people implement their own, and because people play differently, that causes some issues there. But
yeah,
thanks for that conversation. That was a pretty good topic there. Is there anything else you want to drop before we say bye?
I guess kind of like I saw someone in chat, so sorry for stealing your chat things, but someone was like, what does he mean by crap? The way I prioritize, I can English, I swear. It for me, priorities would be just like technical issues, like someone said, because it doesn't matter what goal your game is going for if it doesn't work on a fundamental level. So all the technical issues and bugs need to be taken care of first, and then they can work on balances. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, whatever it is, they definitely need an established base. Pretty good place to start. But they'll go ahead and start with the graphical updates instead.
Right? It's like Autohaven was like such a fan favorite, and now it's just like, ew.
It's weird.
But that's
There's
just,
something
again,
about it.
Me,
like.
I hope.
All right,
anyway,
Hagane.
I'm actually gonna have to dip out because my dog is needing assistance.
No worries. I was gonna kick you out anyway. I appreciate it, buddy.
Great. All right,
you have a good one. It was a good combo.
Have a good one.
Nope.
Yeah,
You too. Later, bud. So what do you guys think? We learned a lot of stuff here. And Caleb was talking about the salt mines were a lie. That made me sad.